on Children with Disabilities, organized by the Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Odisha, in collaboration with the Department of Social Security and Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, Government of Odisha, the Department of Women and Child Development, Government of Odisha, and UNICEF. Today's consultation has been organized with a view to delve deeper into the measures undertaken at the state level for children with disabilities and is aimed at the effective implementation of the Juvenile Justice Act and the POCSO Act, covering children in need of care and protection, children in conflict with law, children who have been victims of sexual violence, and other vulnerable children. Today, we are fortunate to have with us Honorable Mr. Justice Chakradhari Sharan Singh, the Chief Justice, High Court of Odisha, who, owing to his other commitments, could not be present in person but has joined us through video conferencing mode. We also have with us Honorable Mr. Justice Debabrata Das, Judge and Chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Odisha, Honorable Ms. Justice Savitri Rathore, Judge and Member, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Odisha, Honorable Mr. Justice Aditya Mahapatra, Judge and Member, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Odisha, Honorable Mr. Justice Murahari Sriraman, Judge and Member, Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Odisha, and companion judges of the Honorable High Court of Odisha who have spared their valuable time to be with us here today. On this momentous occasion, we also have with us Shri Vishnupada Sethi, IAS Principal Secretary, Department of Social Security and Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, Government of Odisha, Srimati Shubha Sharma, IAS Principal Secretary, Department of Women and Child Development, Government of Odisha, and other officers of the Government of Odisha and the Police Department, resource persons, technical experts, and members of the print and electronic media. I would now humbly request Honorable Mr. Justice Debabrata Das, Judge and Chairperson, and his companion judges of the Honorable High Court of Odisha to kindly adorn the dais. Honorable Ms. Justice Savitri Rathore, Judge, High Court of Odisha, Shri Vishnupada Sethi, IAS Principal Secretary, Social Security and Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, Srimati Shubha Sharma, IAS Principal Secretary, Department of Women and Child Development, and Mr. William Hanlon Jr., Chief of Field Office for Odisha UNICEF, to kindly adorn the dais.
To enhance the process of investigation and to aid in this understanding of the behavior of the disabled, I welcome the investigating agencies who were present here in the participation, as well as the team of psychological experts and doctors who will enlighten this gathering on this subject. Keeping the set object in mind, the concluding technical session is dedicated to a group discussion with the relevant stakeholders, encouraging their active participation. I also welcome the members of judiciary in this consultation, which includes me and my brother judges too, with the objective that their participation will only enhance the deep analysis in this consultation, but also provide them with a broader perspective for consideration in the adjudicatory process. The problem of children is not only a concern of a state or a country, but it's a global issue. As such, I welcome the UNICEF, NGOs, and specialized civil society organizations to carry forward the objective of this consultation. Last but not the least, I welcome all those who are present here to contribute to support and strengthen this consultation. Let us strive hard to build a legal system that is not only just but also compassionate, inclusive, and responsive to the needs of every child, particularly children with disability. I wish you all a productive and meaningful consultation. Together, let us pave the way for a future where every child in Odisha and across the nation and globe can grow up in a safe, supportive, and empowering environment. At this juncture, it is apt to place through the spectrum of history the voice of Abraham Lincoln. I quote, "A child is a person who is going to carry on what you have started. He is going to sit where we are sitting. And when you are gone, attend to those things you think important. You may adopt all policies you please, but how they are carried out depends upon them. He is going to move in and take over the churches, schools, institutions, universities and whatnot. The fate of humanity is in the hands of those children." I unquote. We must keep this as mantra and accordingly take the pledge in doing a lot more in the days to come in the backdrop of the broad policies, but having the area and region specific approach with the policy framework looking at the ground realities. I once again welcome you all to the state level consultation.
Brother Das, Chairperson Juvenile Justice Committee, Sister Savitri, Member Juvenile Justice Committee, other members of the Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Odisha, Madam Sharma, Madam Sethi, Mr. William Allen, other participants, brother judges. I am hugely missing this opportunity to be a part of the state level consultation on effective implementation of Juvenile Justice Act and POCSO Act with specific focus on children with disabilities. This subject is very close to my heart. It is imperative that we ensure that all children, regardless of their ability, are protected under the law and provided with the care and support they need to thrive. The Juvenile Justice Act and the POCSO Act are powerful tools that aim to safeguard the rights of children and hold perpetrators of crime against them accountable. However, we must recognize that children with disabilities often face unique challenges and vulnerabilities that require special attention and care. Effective implementation of these acts requires a comprehensive approach that takes into consideration the specific needs of children with disabilities. This includes providing them with access to appropriate support services, ensuring that their voices are heard and respected, and creating a safe and inclusive environment for them to learn and grow. As we work towards a more just and equitable society, let us commit to upholding the rights of all children, especially those with disabilities. Let us strive to create a world where every child is valued, protected, and give the opportunity to reach their full potential. I hope this state level consultation will be beneficial to all the stakeholders, particularly our magistrates, special judges, POCSO courts, and everyone who is participating, the government officials, the police personnel. I hope this program, whether this is online or not, can someone tell me? So I hope that everyone who has joined this consultation must be benefited immensely by this consultation program, and they will return with important takeaways. Thank you so much. And before I conclude, I must say that I had to join this online under a threat issued by the chairperson, Juvenile Justice Committee, Odisha High Court. And of course, it was my desire also to to participate even otherwise. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
The Department of Social Security and Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, the Department of Women and Child Development, for organizing this crucial consultation on strengthening the inclusive child protection system with a special focus on the children with disabilities. Every time a child with a disability is excluded, a unique story goes untold. A voice remains unheard, and a life is denied the opportunity it rightfully deserves. Often, the needs of these children are overlooked. Today, we gather not just to discuss policies and frameworks, but to reaffirm our commitment to creating an enabling ecosystem where children with disabilities are included, protected, and empowered to reach their full potential. The cost of excluding children with disabilities would defeat our global commitment on leaving no one left behind, no child left behind. Therefore, I would propose that adequate investments are undertaken in healthcare, education, and social protection programs to ensure that children with disabilities are seen, counted, and mainstreamed. We at UNICEF envision a world where every child matters. That is, no child is left behind. We want a future where all children, regardless of their activities, can live a life of dignity and reach their full potential. I support this opportunity to reiterate UNICEF's commitment to support the government of Odisha in its efforts to protect the rights of the children, especially the most vulnerable, including those with disabilities. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and I wish you a successful and wonderful day.
Sethi, Principal Secretary, SSCPT Department, Ms. Shalini Pandit, Secretary, School and Mass Education Department, Mr. William Hanlon Jr., Chief of UNICEF Odisha, Shaini, ADG Crime Against Women, Monisha Banerjee, Director ICDS and Social Welfare, other dignitaries, senior officers of the state government, the judiciary, UNICEF officials led by Shri Manna Biswas, colleagues from the field, and members of the media. It is a privilege to be part of this August gathering for the Juvenile Justice Consultation on effective implementation of POCSO and JJ Act with respect to children with disabilities. Today we deliberate upon an issue which is so important, yet which is rarely discussed. Albert Einstein said, "Most people see what is and never see what can be." Many of us see children with special abilities as people with broken bodies and disturbed minds, not as hidden talent meant to be nurtured and encouraged. There is no doubt that such children are disproportionately vulnerable to neglect, abuse, and exploitation due to their physical, sensory, and cognitive impairments. This vulnerability is further magnified when they are children in need of care and protection or children in conflict with the law. We all know CNCP and CICL often come from severely dysfunctional or disadvantaged backgrounds, such as orphanhood, abandonment, survivors of trafficking, child labor, sexual abuse, and those from dysfunctional and broken families. When combined with their own physical or mental limitations, these adversities and trauma multiply their vulnerabilities and marginalization within society. Our lawmakers recognize this risk, and thus the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2015 explicitly and categorically states that children in need of care and protection includes those children who are mentally or physically challenged, suffering from terminal or incurable diseases. It also covers children who are at risk or are being abused, tortured, or exploited for sexual abuse or illegal acts. Children with disabilities fall under both these categories. This legal recognition also mandates the provision of specialized care, protection, and rehabilitative services for these children. Similarly, for POCSO victims, the JJ Act as well as POCSO Act 2012 mandates a framework to ensure that POCSO victims with disabilities get their rights to due process, rehabilitation and reintegration with special accommodations made to address their specific needs. They are to be supported with specialized legal representation, trauma-informed psychological care and other support services, and calls for early identification and intervention in development delays starting from pregnancy.
Along with me in the dais, Mr. William Hangal Jr., Chief of Field Office Odisha, my colleague Subhash Sharma, many dignitaries and invited guests in the auditorium. At the outset, I must express my deep gratitude to the Chief Justice of Odisha High Court and the Juvenile Justice Committee, High Court of Odisha, for allowing the Department of Social Security and Empowerment of Persons with Disability Government of Odisha to partner with this workshop. Indeed, we are very much thankful and wish to look forward to the recommendations which we will take it as direction from the committee and work to further the agenda for development of Odisha and the country. We all understand the importance of the subject. The inclusive development agenda of our country is summarized by the clarion call, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas. The Union Budget 2014, 2024 and 25 reaffirms this commitment of empowering all citizens, especially the poor and marginalized, to seize opportunity in this journey towards a Viksit Bharat. The focus is now on the needs, issues and contribution of about 60 to 70 million lakhs of people with disability in Odisha. And if our state has to achieve a goal to be a developed state, to make it a $500 billion economy by 2036 and a $1.5 trillion economy by 2047, then we have to essentially reaffirm our commitment on the issues of disability. The Department of Social Security and Empowerment of Persons with Disability was formed in the year 2015, and our strength is derived from the milestones reflected in the Constitution of India, United Nations Convention on Rights of Persons with Disability 2007, Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016, New Education Policy 2020, and the Sustainable Development Goals. We have a number of plans and programs to further the goals. We have State Institute for Empowerment of Persons with Disability, wherein we try to integrate and provide therapy service to the children with disability by providing comprehensive rehabilitation services, therapeutic services including physiotherapy, occupational therapy, psychotherapy, speech and hearing therapy, orientation and mobility, and other counseling services to the PWD, especially children with disabilities. And the state government has a plan to expand the services by opening up centers in other district headquarters. We also have a scheme called Rehabilitation of Physically and Mentally Challenged Socially Disadvantaged Person. And under this scheme, we have got 78 centers across 29 districts, and those centers are managed by 64 number of empaneled project implementing agencies who are provided grants in it. Those children who especially are not suited for the neighborhood schools are brought to our special schools. There are 103 number of special schools and one higher secondary school for the hearing impaired, which is in Bhubaneswar. Out of the 103 number of special schools, 37 schools are for hearing impaired, 27 schools are for visually impaired, and 34 number of schools are for intellectually disabled. 2 schools are for autism and 3 schools are for cerebral palsy students. We provide Banishri scholarships and we also provide uniform to the children in the special schools. We provide laptops to the visually impaired children who take up higher educations in the colleges and universities. And we have a host of training program to impact skill training so that the children are placed in various companies. We have also the district disability rehabilitation centers at the district headquarters, and they have a host of services to be provided to the children with disabilities. Under the pension schemes, we cover all the children with benchmark disability of 40% and above, and they are provided at different slabs of pension starting with 1,000 rupees. And we also have a roadmap before us to strengthen the convergence of the department with other schemes and programs. Some of them which are being discussed as an agenda of the department could be like we would like to come out with a state policy for persons with disability, and this is also a mandate of the RPWD Act 2016. There is a direction or a mandate in the RPWD Act that 5% of the budget have to be spent for the persons with disability. We are working out a mechanism how to enforce this and monitor the expenditure for the disabled people. We had done a survey for the survey and identification of the children with disability earlier. Now it is high time that we take up another survey with the children with disability. We also envision to have a back to school campaign for the out of school and children dropout of the school dropout children with disability, and I will solicit the help of my colleague Shalini Pandit, who is there, to work on this program. We will also, with her help, work on another agenda of our department, that is appointment of the special educator for all the schools for inclusive education as per the direction of Honorable Apex Court in the Rajneesh Kumar Pandey versus Union of India case. Similarly, we would also like to prepare individual education plan and individual care plan of every child with disability. Similarly, we would take up sensitization program for government employees on disability issues involving various training institutions like Gopabandhu Academy, Madhusudan Academy, Odisha Judicial Academy, Biju Patnaik Academy, Roti, SIRT, etc. And we will find out how can we ensure universal accessibility of all the public buildings. We will also create cell for the disabled person and appoint nodal officers in all the department to monitor accessibility and inclusion matters. We have requested the higher education department to open equal opportunity cell in universities and colleges, and that will ensure equal access of higher education and professional education of students with disabilities.
ଭଲ ତିଆରି କରେ ଆଉ ଭଲ ଗୀତ ବି ଭଲ ମୁଁ ଗାଏ, ଭଲ ଡ୍ରଇଂ ବି ଭଲ କରେ, ଭଲ ୱେଲ୍ଡିଂ ବି ଭଲ କରେ, ଭଲ ସ୍କେଟିଂ କରେ, ମାଟିରେ ଭଲ ଭଲ ବେড়ା କଟା ଜିନିଷ ସେଟା ବି ତିଆରି କରେ। ମୋର ବ୍ଲେଜର କମ୍ପାନୀରେ କାମ କରିବାକୁ ଆଶା ଅଛି।
ପାଠ ପଢୁଛି, ତୃତୀୟ ହଉଛି ତୋଟା ବୁଝୁଛି।
କିସ ମାଟି କାମୁଇ ମାଟି ଶିବର ଜୀବନ ଯିବା ଶିବର ଜୀବନ ଯିବା ସଖିବା
ଆମେରିକା ଲସ୍ ଏଞ୍ଜେଲସ୍ 2015 ମସିହାରେ ବିଚ୍ ଭଲିବଲ ମୁଁ ଗୋଲ୍ଡ ମେଡାଲ ପାଇଛି। 2017 ମସିହାରେ ଅଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଲିଆରେ ମୁଁ ଫ୍ଲୋର ହକି ଥାର୍ଡ ପାଇଛି। ମୋତେ ଭଲ ମିଳିପାରିଲେ ମୁଁ କିଛି ଭଲ କରିବି। ସର୍ଜିଂ ଶିଖିବି, ସ୍କେଟିଂ, ସୁଇମିଂ ଆଉ ଡ୍ରଇଂ ଯେଉଁ କାମଟା ଦେଲେ ସେ କାମରେ କରିବାକୁ ଇଚ୍ଛା ଅଛି।
ମୁଁ ଜଣେ ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ଖେଳୁଆ। ମୁଁ ଜାର୍ମାନୀ ଯାଇଥିଲି ଆଉ ସେଠି ଟଙ୍କା କ୍ୟାସ୍ ଆୱାର୍ଡ ମିଳିଥିଲା। ଆଗର ଖେଳକୁ ଇଚ୍ଛା ଅଛି, ଇଣ୍ଟରନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ଖେଳକୁ ଯିବି, ମେଡାଲ ପାଇବି, ଓଡ଼ିଶାକୁ ମୁଁ ଗର୍ବ କରିବି।
ମୁଁ ୱାକର ସାହାଯ୍ୟରେ ଚାଲେ। ମୋତେ ବଡ଼ ହେଲେ କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର ୟୁନିଟ୍ରେ ପଢ଼ିବି। କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର ୟୁନିଟ୍ରେ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ଦରକାର। ତ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ତରଫରୁ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ ମିଳିଲେ ମୁଁ ଆଗକୁ ଭଲ ଚାକିରି କରିବି।
Participants of the various technical sessions, the Secretary, Juvenile Justice Committee and his team, ladies, gentlemen and children, Namaskar and a very good morning to you. The Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities defines living with a disability as having a long-term physical, mental, intellectual or sensory impairment that, in interaction with the environment, hinders one's participation in society on an equal basis with others. Children are the future of our country. They are its most valuable and at the same time its most vulnerable resource. Children, apart from food and education, need love, care and proper guidance to grow up to be healthy and successful adults. The care and attention they get and the environment they live in during their childhood has a bearing on what kind of person they will grow up to be. Every child matters. Children with disabilities are special children. They are part of every community. They are either born with or acquire impairments, disabilities, which gives rise to functional difficulties like seeing, walking, hearing, talking, caring for oneself, thinking, ability to tackle a problem, deal with a situation, or even making friends. The extent to which such persons are able to function, participate in society and lead fulfilling lives depends on the extent to which they are accommodated and included by the society.
आपके समर्थन से भाजपा ने स्वस्थ बनाया गरीबों का जीवन। आयुष्मान योजना से 6 करोड़ 86 लाख से अधिक लोगों को मिला मुफ्त इलाज। स्वस्थ भारत के निर्माण में दें अपना अहम योगदान। 2 सितंबर से शुरू हो रहा है भाजपा का सदस्यता अभियान। भाजपा का सदस्य बनकर हमें अपना समर्थन दें।